Hey everybody, today we're talking about INFJs and suppressing emotions. Now, why do we want to talk about this? Because it kind of sounds like a boring topic, doesn't it? But emotions are very crucial for an INFJ to feel like they're living that fulfilling life, to love who they are, to feel as if their personality type isn't a curse. Instead, it's a blessing. Quite often, INFJs learn to suppress those emotions, and it causes lots of inner turmoil. It directly impacts the love that we have for ourselves, our self-esteem, and our self-confidence. So it's very crucial to be aware of this. And this is why I think it'll be a fun topic to talk about today, because I do see quite a few INFJs struggling with this, not being aware of it. I was one. I was not aware of how crucial it was suppressing those emotions, how crucial it was for my whole well-being. So I think it will be a really fun topic to talk about. Welcome to my channel. If we haven't met before, my name is Trina Bretnell. I hope you enjoy it and I hope you find it very helpful. So why do we learn to suppress those emotions? Why do we do it? If it's so crucial for us as being emotional beings, we're very emotional people. We're a very emotional personality type. We navigate our world using introverted intuition. That is our first preference. So that is how we do everything. We're taking in information, we're coming to conclusions, making decisions, that sort of thing, problem solving, using our introverted intuition. That is directly linked heavily on our emotions, right? When we're getting introverted intuition messages, when we're getting messages from our intuition, quite often it's a sensation or it's a feeling, that gut feeling that you can't really express to other people, but it's there, it's there. That's emotions. So when we suppress that, it really blocks our intuition, making us very clumsy. I like to call it clumsy because that's kind of what it is. It's clumsy going through our life, right? Our first preference that we're really good at, that's going to guide us in the right direction, it's blocked. We have a disconnect there. So of course we're going to be very clumsy going through our life. And we start making bad decisions and all sorts of things start happening and we get into a really dark funk. So why do we suppress these? If they're so important for our personality type, why do we suppress them? Well, quite often at a young age, we got the message they were bad. Maybe we were called crybaby. Maybe we were called sissy, wimp, drama queen. Oh, you're being too sensitive. That sort of thing, right? Oh, you're weak. Oh, you're crying again. Let me give you something to cry about. We've heard it all, right? That brought us feelings of shame and guilt. It made us feel like we were flawed. Now, being so young, we might not have even realized it was emotions that did it, but we knew it was those feelings. It was the fact that we had to cry, or the fact that we could connect with somebody deeply and empathize with them and feel what they were feeling. It turned us into something that was bad. It was shameful. We wanted to get rid of it. Get it away from me. I'm not being accepted. Shut it down. And that's what we did. It was a coping mechanism. That's what we did to feel accepted. And I mean, we were just surviving. So be kind to yourself. We were surviving. That's what we had to do. But now, as we get older into our teens and into our adult life, it really causes inner turmoil when we're suppressing those emotions, because we continue this pattern into our adult life. And this causes us issues with being able to express ourselves clearly, which feeds our self-hatred. When an INFJ can't express themselves, it really causes a lot of self-hatred. It enables us to connect on deeper levels, which causes us loneliness, barriers to intimacy, and fears of rejection, again, feeding that self-hatred. We don't want to be lonely. Everybody needs to connect with somebody. INFJs really long for that deep connection with people. So when we have barriers with that and we can't connect with people, we start to feel very lonely and we come down on ourselves and we start blaming ourselves, and that inner voice starts and it just hacks on us, and we end up hating who we are as people, and it's very sad. Feeling flawed hacks feeling flawed really hacks on our self-worth and confidence, right? Nobody wants to feel flawed. Nobody wants to feel that they're inferior, that there's something wrong with them. When you're feeling like that all the time, when that's the message that you're getting, of course, you have no self-worth left. You have no confidence because you're wrong. There's something wrong with you. This then causes identity issues, mixing it all together, and it causes psychological distress, such as anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues as we get older. And it's just a whole nasty snowball effect from suppressing those emotions. We had to do it when we were younger, again, to survive, but we're not going to do it anymore. We don't need to do this anymore. We don't need to just survive. We want to thrive now. We want to thrive in our life. We want to have those deep connections. We want to get those jobs that we're going to excel at, that's going to light the flame underneath us because we're good at the things that we're doing. We need to be able to identify those things we're good at. We need to identify our strengths, get out of that funk of thinking that we have nothing to offer, that we're not good at anything because we're flawed. So we need to shut it off. No, we don't. We're shutting off our emotions, but we need to shut off the fact that we're shutting off our emotions and start embracing those emotions. But how do we do that? Right? It's a pattern that we have developed through our entire life, a habit that we had. So how do we change that? Right? That was my question. I'm like, okay, well, now I know the issue. So what am I going to do about it? Well, the first thing to do, and again, I want you to remember that this was a lifelong practice. So this does not happen overnight. So have compassion for yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Have patience. It takes a little bit of time, but constantly working on it day after day, bits and bits, small baby steps. It's amazing how far you get in a month, or how far you get in 2 months, or in a year. But it does take time. It doesn't happen overnight. The first thing to do is practice emotional wellness. Practice emotional wellness, mindfulness, I guess is what I'm trying to say, emotional mindfulness. Sorry, I was listening for my son. He's downstairs and I kind of got messed up here. Practice emotional mindfulness. So what I mean by that is like meditation. Meditation is a great one. I do know INFJs struggle with meditation because we have such a busy mind. It really is hard for us to do this. But there are guided meditations that help. They work really good for INFJs. Also, INFJs thrive on EFT, on tapping all different parts of your body. Kind of your body. It's like your face and right here. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that. INFJs love tapping. And it also is a form of meditation. It works really good. The one person that I follow, I'm not affiliated with, but it's Brad Yates. If you're looking for somebody that does tapping, Brad Yates, he's here on YouTube and he does amazing tapping sessions and he does lots of free stuff. So it's great. What meditation does is it helps us observe from a non-judgmental side of things, our thoughts and our feelings. So what I tell my clients is we need to step back. We need to just step back and look at what's going on. It sounds crazy. INFJs spend a lot of time in our heads. We're in our heads all the time, right? And I mean, that's okay to a point. We need that time in our heads, but there are times throughout the day that we need to get out of our heads and into our bodies. So that's what I mean about stepping back and just noticing what's going on. What was I feeling? Okay, this is what I was feeling. What was I thinking when I felt that? Okay, this is what I was thinking. Interesting. And just take note of that. You'll start to see the patterns and you'll start to see these emotions coming up. We may not be able to identify the emotions because remember, we suppressed them for so long. We might not even realize what it is that we're feeling quite yet. And that's okay. You don't need to know exactly what you're feeling yet. That will come in time. You'll just for now, start identifying the patterns. Okay, I was thinking this and now I'm feeling this. And really look at how you're feeling. Even write it down, which leads me to my next point of journaling. Write it down. Okay, I was thinking this and this is what I was feeling. Focus on the feeling part, that emotion. Body scan, which is another form of meditation. And it's kind of like how I was just talking about, taking a step and noticing different parts of your body. This is very beneficial. Just taking note and noticing different parts of your body and how you feel, what sensations, what tensions. I did not realize before I started doing this that I am tense all the time, massively tense. I told my hubby, Jason, I told him once that I should be just like a big muscle builder. My muscles should be completely toned because I am one big ball of tense muscle all the time. I could be working on my stories, writing, and not even in a tense part of my story. And I'll do a body scan and I realize that my shoulders are like up like this and my hands are all tense and everything. I could be listening to a podcast. Quite often when I go pick up my son from school, I go a little bit early because that's my time to listen to podcasts. So I'll pick one of my favorite podcasts and I'll listen to it. And I'll do a body scan while I'm listening to that. And I realize that my lower back and my legs are tensed right up, just like I'm ready to run. Like I need to run away from something. So I release it. So it's quite amazing when you start doing body scans, what you notice about your body. That was way off topic, but it was interesting. I needed to share that. And another thing is seek support, like a coach like myself. I'm an INFJ coach who can give you a safe space to express those emotions, to validate that you're not flawed, to help you identify those feelings, share more active steps of what worked for me. I am an INFJ and I have been through it, so I know what worked for me and what didn't work for me, and show you that your personality is a blessing. It's not a curse at all. And don't suppress those emotions. I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, if you liked it, please give me the thumbs up. And I ask you to please share this. The more times it's shared, the more INFJs we can reach and the more INFJs we can help. And that is really what it's all about, because it's an amazing personality type. We have so much to offer the world, so much. And so many of us don't even realize it. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you again real soon. Until then, talk to you soon.